Good morning. I'm going to call this hearing to order. Today is Monday, July 27th, 2026, and the time is 9:01 a.m. My name is William Boyd, and I'm one of the legal counsels for the Nebraska Department of Education. I will be the presiding officer conducting today's two-days hearing via Zoom, addressing the proposed revisions to Title 92, Nebraska Administrative Code, Chapter 6, Regulations and Standards for Uniform Sharing of Student Data, Records, and Information, also known as Rule 6. The required notice of hearing was published for this hearing in the Omaha World Herald on June 24th, 2026. To begin the hearing, a Nebraska Department of Education staff member will describe and explain the proposed rule. This will then be followed by testimony from any interested person. Each person presenting testimony is requested to state and spell your first and last name and provide a general indication of where you live, for example, your city, county, or school district. If you are testifying on behalf of an organization, please also identify that organization. After that, you may state a concise suggestion or recommendation of what action you would like the board to take regarding the proposed changes, and state any rationale or reason behind your recommendation. You are free to reinforce any testimony given by others, but please refrain from repeating testimony already provided. Each person testifying will be limited to 5 minutes, and if additional time is needed, it may be provided at the discretion of the presiding officer. At the conclusion of all testimony from interested parties, the Nebraska Department of Education staff member who opened on the rule will have an opportunity to respond to the testimony presented today. That will conclude this hearing. Today's hearing will be recorded and available for both the State Board of Education and the public via YouTube. Anyone wishing to submit written testimony must submit their comments prior to 5 p.m. today in order to have their comments made part of the official record for this hearing. The email for submitting written comments is nde.rulehearing@nebraska.gov. Again, that email is nde.rulehearing@nebraska.gov. At this time, we're going to begin gathering testimony regarding the proposed changes to Rule 6, Regulations and Standards for Uniform Sharing of Student Data, Records, and Information. Chris Woloshyn from the Nebraska Department of Education will describe and explain the proposed revisions. Chris, you may begin.
Good morning. My name is Chris Woloshyn, and I am the Information Systems Officer at the Nebraska Department of Education. The following is a short summary of the proposed revisions to Chapter 6, Regulations and Standards for Uniform Sharing of Student Data, Records, and Information. Rule 6 is adopted pursuant to Nebraska Revised Statute 79-2.104. The purpose of the proposed revisions to Rule 6 is to refine definitions for personally identifiable information in Section 002 and directory information, public notice, and opt-out requirements in Section 003 to align with FERPA. Remove appendices A and B and incorporate required written agreements terms into Section 005. Update and streamline statutory citations throughout. The current version of Rule 6 was last updated effective on November 4th, 2014. These proposed revisions have been made with input from the Educational Service Unit Coordinating Council, or ESUCC, the Nebraska Association of Technology Administrators, NATA, and the ESU Network Operations Committee, ESU-NOC. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Now, we're going to open the hearing to testimony from any interested party. Is there anyone on the call that's interested in providing testimony today? I will ask again, is there anyone on the call that's interested in providing testimony today? Seeing none, I'm going to ask if Chris, do you have any more information to add at this time?
I do not. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your participation today. The time is now 9:06 a.m. and this meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.